Tatiana Chapman. I'm here at 561 KPRS Radio. I'm honored to use this platform to complete this assignment. I hope you will all be encouraged after hearing this interview. I have the opportunity and the pleasure of interviewing my aunt, Mleissa Cunningham, whom I've known who've gone through a lot of difficult times in her life. So let's get started.
Hi, guys. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to help you complete this assignment. Again, my name is Mleissa Cunningham. I'm known as Tatiana's auntie. She's my TT, and she's a very bright and beautiful young lady. And I'm here to just, encourage you. Hopefully, that you all are encouraged, blessed, touched. If you feel that you need to get some tissue, that's fine. I have my towel here. So, thank you, Tatiana, for choosing me to give you this assignment.
All right. So let's get started. What are
Absolutely.
some tough situations you have come across in your life?
Well, growing up as a young little girl, I grew up with my mom and my grandmother, who actually adopted my mom when she came from Jamaica. And I've been with her since she was 2 years old. Um, long live Nani. She's gone on to be with the Lord at this moment. But I grew up going back and forth to Jamaica, getting to know all of my roots and my culture,
Okay.
and getting to know my mother's biological mom, whom she loved me to the day she took her last breath. And I've experienced quite a few things. Um, it's actually coming out in my book, and my book is called Yet I Survived. So, two of the major things that I've gone through that I feel is probably more necessary to assignment is the first one that I went through in my adult years was domestic violence,
Okay.
and that is something that is very known in the United States. In outside of the United States, people are hiding the fact that they are being abused. And the other thing that I've gone through is losing my oldest daughter. And for you, of course, you know that that is your oldest cousin. And I lost her at a very young age, and she was our world. So those are the two major things that I would say would be my domestic violence. I am a survivor, and I thank God for that. I'm sorry if anybody get offended by me using the word God, but you know, I have to say that because that's my upbringing. And again, I I'm not sure if I apologize if you are offended, but okay, you get the point. Um, so yeah, those are my things.
Okay. Another question. Tell me how you handled those two difficult situations.
Well, for the domestic violence, I'm going to be very, very honest with you all. I went through domestic violence when I had both of my girls. My oldest girl, special case, she was 1 years old at the time, and my youngest daughter, who's actually here today, she was 7 months old. And I think it had to be in the year of, I want to say 99, 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, between 99 and 2000, 2001, I was being abused. And how I handled it, what I thought was the right way of handling it, I kept silent. And what I did was I escaped by climbing out of the window, leaving my two girls there. You cannot bash me because at that time when I was going through that, I knew that my abuser was not going to harm my daughters. I knew that much. And a lot of people that I did come in contact with and talk with, they had their differences in their opinion, and that's fine and that's okay. But at the time, it was get out of there, get some help, and get back to my girls. And I could have went to jail because I left my girls in the house, but they were sleeping. And I do remember my oldest daughter, she witnessed me being abused at a young age. And growing up, as she was growing up, she became very, very protective of her mom. even at a young age. She became very protective. She would, if it appeared to be like I was in an argument, or meaning that my tone, my voice tone was at an increased level, she would become very like aggressive. I'm not comparing her to an animal, so don't quote me on this, don't get me wrong, but you know how some dogs are protective of their caregiver that they are with, their owner, and typically they are protected of the female. And the reason why they are protected of the female is just like a lion. They're protective of their cubs is because of the fact that they don't want no harm to come to them. So, my daughter became very, very protective. And how, like I said, I thought me being silent was the right way because I kept it from my mom. The reason I kept it from my mom is because I didn't want my mom to know, because I know my mom. It's my mom. My mom she's very humble, very quiet, but that woman did not play about her kids. She would have really hurt that young man. And then my mom would have been in jail. All because of, I had this saying when I would see on TV that someone say, "Oh, I felt so helpless. Oh, I couldn't get out. I couldn't escape." And I was one of the ones that used to laugh at them, Tatiana. I would laugh at those women and I would say, "What do you mean you can't get out of it? Just get out. Go tell somebody, or don't even let the person in your house or around you," until one day it happened to me. Then I saw it in a different outlook. And am I still on track here?
Yeah, you said.
So what I did was I stayed silent for years, years. I never told anyone. I never told my mom, never told my sister. And I think my sister actually just found out probably about, I want to say probably about 3-4 years ago,
That you were.
that I was abused. I think it was about 3-4 years. And me and my sister shared, we talk. So that's how I handle it. I was quiet. As far as the domestic violence, as far as me losing my daughter, I had to have developed a lot of faith, even when I was once a young lady coming up in the church. I didn't, my faith used to always waver. It was, "Oh gosh, why am I going through this?" And "Oh God," and then I would turn around, then I would turn my faith on. I had faith like a faucet of water. I turn it on and I turn it off. I turn it on and I turn it off. I turn it on and I turn it off. But being told that your daughter or your child, son or daughter, is diagnosed with cancer, not just ADL or ALL, I mean AML or AAL, leukemia, she was diagnosed with a type of cancer that only affect older people. Now I'm like, okay, what am I going to do in this situation right here? So I did what could probably be considered the craziest thing, even the craziest thought. And that was when I walked out of Glaze General Hospital at that time. I went to go charge my phone to tell Nani what was going on. And I stood there at the door and I looked up to the sky and I said, "You know what? You loaned her to me. Now I'm going to give her back to you. Whatever these doctors tell me, my trust has always been in you. So you got to carry us through this." And I walked to my car, charged my phone, called Nani, said, "Hey, we got to go over to the hospital, another hospital, and we'll let you know." Nene was at the time, she was young. I think Nene probably was about 7 or 8. And I said, "Madia's going to bring Nene home, change some clothes, and they're going to come back over to the hospital once we get settled in." So handling that was more of my faith being elevated. Domestic violence, it was silence. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Okay. What have you learned from those two situations?
Well, for the domestic violence, it would be to tell someone,
Tell us more.
because someone is going to listen. Someone is going to help you out of that situation. It wasn't until 2012 that I broke my silence.
And this happened. When did you start getting abused?
I got abused in 1998, between 1998, I mean 1999, sorry. From 1999 to 2001, I was abused. So you see the time difference. And then I stayed silent until 2012. And I was actually in college in 2012 when I broke the silence, because
Wow.
being a the president, I was vice president at the time. I was vice president of the alumni,
Okay.
and then I was in the ambassador, the ignition ambassadors, and then I became president of that, and then I became president of the alumni. So they just so happen to have a post up about the annual battered women's or annual domestic violence walkathon,
Okay.
and they did it every year. But our college at the time, the university that I was going to, was partaking into it. So I said, okay, well, let me go. And it was saying to me, someone said something to me about they was in a situation while we was in school, and I did not know it. So, excuse me, I got to talking with her, and that's how my silence broke. The whole
Wow.
time I had been quiet. And then when the ones that was over me, like my admission advisor, and those that was in administrative office, and those that was close to us, that worked with the ambassadors, they said, Mel, you was abused. We would have never known, because you're so tough. Like, we don't see nobody putting their hands on you. And I was like, oh, but he did.
Did it feel like a fresh relief
It
to finally
actually
break?
was. It actually was. And I say, wow, to be holding this all these years and not knowing so many people
Go through
could have
this.
gotten saved from that. So many people. Because when we went to that walk, the people that was out that particular year, 2012, was the largest amount of people that came out. They
Really?
normally have, like, 1,000, 1,500. That particular year they had 5,000 people that was walking, that had broke their silence. And you
Wow.
saw the people come, you saw the women's come together and embrace each other. And I was like, all this time, I'm just thinking that
You're by yourself.
I'm by myself.
Um, what have you learned from about your
My loss.
yes, your loss?
The- when I learn about that, it's always something to learn about it. Let's just call it for what it is.
Okay.
It's called educate yourself. Thank God. Thank God. Thank goodness that I was a nurse. Let me just say that right quick. For the simple fact that we came in contact with a lot of families
Right.
that came from a whole different background from my background, come from different cultures, and they were, let me see how I can say this the politest way. They were dumbfounded
Okay.
as to what was going on. They knew of this disease. They knew of this illness because it's common. You hear it on TV, or somebody has it. Have breast cancer or something like that. It's that word. When you hear the word cancer, it becomes very scary. That's like the most scariest thing that you could ever go through in life or even hear. But people lack the education part of it. They don't know what the pros and the cons of it is. They don't know what to expect. They allow doctors to make the decisions And when it comes down to your kids, for me, that's just a whole nother level. Because not only did it affect Special K, it affected Princess Atara. It affected Tatiana. It affected Dolores. It affected her grandmother. Her grandmother saw her come into the world, you know? And it affected her nanny. Not only did it affect those that her main immediate family, but it affected the lives of the people that she touched. So we have to educate ourselves. You don't have to, if the nursing field is not for you, that's fine. Because there are plenty nurses out there. There are plenty doctors, but at least know something. So when these doctors come to you and they're speaking medical terms, it's like they sound like what's the character on Snoopy? Wah 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 wah.
The mom, the parents.
Yeah, you don't know. The parents didn't know. So unfortunately, I was glad that I did know. And whatever, if there was something that I didn't know when they came and told me, I immediately was in my books. Immediately in my books reading. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that's what it was. Do I know everything? No, but I'm saying. Oh, okay. I thought that's what they was. And I literally had to tell the doctors straightforward. Do not hide anything from me. Do not sugarcoat anything from me. Don't feel as if you can't be straightforward with me. The reason why, because I'm here every day. But guess what? I have a whole family that's in between Belle Glade and Palm Beach that I need to report to. And I need to be able to let them know because I'm getting phone calls every day, faithfully. I'm getting visitations. It's on the weekends, faithfully. But I still need to be able to update them from Monday through Friday, what took place. So from there, we built that level of respect, that level of trust, and we built that level of friendship. We actually became family, because they saw that, okay, we don't have to be scared to approach this mom because this is a difficult situation right now. And at one point in 2009, I can remember she was going through her plasmapheresis. And that's where they drain out the bad blood and recycle and wash it. And that's a whole almost 24-hour job, 24-hour process. And they wash it, and you got a machine about this big that's sitting there in these big old circles. You don't know what it's doing, and you just see, and you can literally see the difference in the blood. How the darkness of it, that's the dirty, that's the unclean. And then you can see the blood going back into the body that's washed. It hasn't cured the cancer now, but it's just cleaning the blood so that she can, we have blood. We have to have blood in our bodies. So when you see that going on, and you see doctors keep running in and out, changing medication, or they're making some adjustments, and they're talking and they're coding it, and you have to say, hold on, I asked you all not to do that. Because at that point, and I will never forget it, it was March 1st, 2009, when I stood in front of that lady, and it was on a Saturday. March the 1st was on a Saturday that particular year. And I stood in front of that lady. That lady was probably about the height of you, maybe the height of Shanice. And I said, is my daughter about to die? You got to be a strong parent to say something like that. And I said, I see you all from 7 o'clock this morning running in and out of here. Now, did y'all do something wrong? Because I couldn't sleep. I was up that night. That Friday night, I was up. And and then y'all called in the chaplain.
The chaplain.
They called them in.
They called in the chaplain?
They called her in. It was a lady. I take that back. Sorry. It was a lady. They called her in. And I remember laying there on that little, what's supposed to be couch that you let out, the little chair, but you let it out. I was laying there, and that lady was standing over me. Y'all know me, my family, y'all know I don't like nobody standing over me. And my whole body got hot, so I opened my eyes, and I said, I'm not asleep. She said, they told me to come here and try to pray with you. And I'm so sorry about your daughter. I said, my daughter ain't dead. She alive. What are you talking about? And she said, yes, but they suggested that I come in. I said, really? Nobody came in and said anything to me. She said, they said you was looking like you finally was at peace and having and actually getting some sleep. This is what this lady told me. And I said, okay. So I sat up and I said, you know what? I don't mean no harm. I have my own pastor, and there's no need for me to call her right now. And that morning, I saw them running in and out, in and out. Okay, I think it was about 9, a little after 9, and that's when I took that lady by her two arms, her arms, and I said to her, "Is my baby about to die?" And she said to me, "Excuse me." She said to me, she looked up at me and she said, "I did not want to tell you this, but you need to prepare your family to come down." I said, okay. That's all I needed you to tell me. Y'all didn't have to go running back and forth. You didn't have to call everybody. You didn't have to get in the hallway and
Hush,
go
hush.
over notes and, just tell me. Because guess what? I need to call my mom. I need to call my sister. My sister and my mom need to get my daughter and my niece. And she said, "You're so brave." I said, "No, dear. I trust God." And that's what happened. I did. I called my dinner and told them, I said, "Okay, y'all coming down here this weekend?" "Yeah, we on our way down there anyway." Okay. I didn't even say anything to
They got there?
They came, but I didn't say anything to them that what was going on. Because guess what? By the time they made it there, we was transferring Kira back to her room. And the doctors was looking like, "What did you do?" So I didn't do anything. I told you I trust God. And I walked back in the room. I said, "I'm going to spend some time with my family." And that was in, like I said, March 1st, 2009.
March 1st, 2009.
And not Shanice, so God, Special K, stayed with us till 2010.
Wow. Wow. God's good.
Yeah.
All right. That would conclude our interview. Thank you again for coming here to the show so I could interview you for my assignment. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys listened, and I hope you guys just took that in and just acknowledged and understand why I brought her to this interview today. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're quite welcome. And again, I'm telling you, anybody that's going through domestic violence, please tell someone.
Yes, please.
If you feel scared that you can't even tell your family members because you know your family members probably might be crazier than you. I mean, just tell someone. Tell a friend. Just tell someone that you can trust. Because a lot of us survivors. I'm gonna say this: a lot of survivors are not survivors. I'm serious. I'm a survivor, but someone who was probably going through it around the same year that I was, they didn't make it. And that just lets me know that I had to make it because of what happened in 2007 through 2010. I mean, I'm not saying that my family would not have been there, but it was a life changing decision because I got to go off to care for one, and I still got to care for the other one, but I got to leave her behind. You get what I'm saying? And not only that, with you, Tatiana, you know, special case saw you come into the world, the first child to ever be in the delivery room. And she said, "That's my baby. I'm going to take care of my baby." Yeah. She was that big cousin. You know, she was that big sister because she took care of her sister. She go in the store, she got to get two of everything. If she go in there try to eat some, cook some, make some, fix some cereal, she had to fix cereals for both of them. Get pot tots, noodles, she had to do it for both of them. You know, so it seems like it might have been some gibberish or whatever, what was going on. I maybe detouring or went off a track or whatever. But at the end of the day, I survived. And that's where I got the title from. I had been writing on the book, didn't know which direction I was going to go, never had a title. And I remember the month that she, January 2010. And it was the week that she was transitioning out. That's when I got the title. 5:35 a.m. I jumped up. Yet I survived. Was spoken into my ear. Got up, wrote it down. Couldn't go back to sleep. 5:45 I jumped in the truck. Found a 24-hour Walmart. I went and got the pajamas. Went and got the bedroom slippers. You know, preparing her to go. You know, so it was an honor to be able to share this, and that also can fall up under how did I handle it, because I get to talk about it. That's how I handle it. I get to talk about those things. I could have chose anything that I've gone through because, like I say, I've gone through so much that even my mom and my sister don't even know half of it. You know, I could have talked about when I how old I was. Probably how old I was. When I was in what grade you was in? The Fort Pierce incident. Who, me? No, because Denise was there. Denise now was in high school.
Yeah, mom used to call.
So it was in 94. Right. Yeah, so I could have went back there and talked about that because I'm young. And I witnessed that at a young age. And people don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could really be a person that have lost their mind. I could have backtracked. You know, I could have just said, fudge all this stuff. You know, seriously.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect that. You know, and I think that's why I'm so hard like I am. I'm aggressive like I am. I'm aggressive because I feel as though, you know, if you come at me a certain way, more than likely you're gonna get that. And I'm not that. You know, I'm very, you know, I'm a humble person. I'm cool, calm, and collect. Very goofy,
Yeah.
you know, but I that stuff is shielded. And you know what I'm saying? It's shielded, and I could have talked about that, but those two is because, you know, I feel somebody need to know that you have to tell somebody. And if you are going through a child or an adult that are experiencing that difficult
And lost.
time of losing someone to the illness, or you are going through it with the illness, listen, I'm available. 561-983-5607. I come to the hospital with you. I go to doctor visits. I pray for you. One thing about it, when I tell people, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you," I'm literally praying for that person because I know what I'm praying about. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you."
And they don't.
I bet you are. That's the thought that be in my head. I bet you are. No, but I really pray for people because we need it.
We need prayer.
We need it. We need it. You need it. You need, you need to have someone to go through those difficult times with you. You need
Mm-hmm.
someone. You need someone there. And if I ain't never told y'all, boy, I appreciate them visits. Cause that's what kept me going. Because the more I got to report to you and let you all know, you know what I'm saying, the more I'm actually relieving myself of that pain.
Feels like you're not alone.
Yeah, not alone. Yep. So thank you, Tatiana. I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you for your mom sitting in and my daughter. Oh, Princess Atara. All right, love you.
I love you
And I
too.
hope everyone that get to hear this back or listen to it that you are encouraged or blessed and helped.
Thank you. Bye. Yeah.